各位记者朋友
Good afternoon, friends from the media. Welcome to today's press conference. First, I would like to make an announcement. At the invitation of member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi, Minister of Foreign and European Affairs of Croatia, Gordon Gerlich Radman will visit China from July 20 to 22. Now questions, please.
您好，新华社记者提问。刚刚中方发布了克罗地亚。
From Xinhua News Agency. To follow up on the Croatia Minister of Foreign Affairs and European Affairs, Gordon Gerlich Radman's visit to China, how does China view its current relations with Croatia and what does China expect to achieve through this visit? China welcomes Radman, Croatia's Minister of Foreign Affairs and European Affairs, to visit China. The two countries have enjoyed traditional friendship. The China-Croatia Comprehensive Cooperative Partnership has maintained steady growth, and Belt and Road cooperation and cooperation between China and Central and Eastern European countries have borne positive results. China attaches great importance to its relations with Croatia. Through this visit, we stand ready to work with Croatia to further align our development strategies, unlock potential for result-oriented cooperation, have closer people-to-people and cultural exchange and dialogue, and open up new chapters for our comprehensive cooperative partnership. Next question, please.
广播协会提问，不好意思。
NHK. This morning, the Beijing No. 2 Intermediate People's Court sentenced a male employee of Japan's pharmaceutical company to 3 years and 6 months for engaging in espionage activities. Japanese government called the verdict regrettable and asked China for early release. Japan also complained that the lack of judicial transparency impacted China-Japan relations foundations and said that the case impeded people-to-people exchanges between the two countries, was China's comment and response.
中国
China upholds the rule of law. Our judicial authorities handle the case in strict accordance with the law, protect the lawful rights of the person concerned, and provide facilitation for the Japanese side to perform consular duties in accordance with relevant international conventions and the agreement on consular relations between China. I would also like to point out that China always supports the economic and trade between China and Japan, and to provide good environment for businesses from Japan. And we welcome foreign companies to come to China for economic and trade cooperation. As long as they abide by law, there is nothing to worry about.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
Thank you. Question from RIA Novosti.
近日，俄罗斯美国驻联合国大使提名人华尔兹在周二的时候表示，如果他的任命得到确认，中方的恶意行为和在联合国日益增长的影响力将会是华尔兹最关心的问题。中方对此有何评论？ Could you please repeat your question? Could you please repeat your question?
For the
美国驻联合国大使提名人华尔兹在周二的时候表示，如果中国的恶意行为，还有在中国的恶意行为将会是他最关心的问题。如果他的任命得到确认的话，中方对此有何评论？
这些言论
These remarks reflect the typical ideological bias and Cold War and zero-sum mentality of some U.S. politicians. China firmly rejects this. We urge the U.S. to view China and its relations with China from an objective and reasonable perspective, and make concrete effort to promote the steady, sound, and sustainable development of China-U.S. relations instead of doing the opposite.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
Good afternoon. A question from Reuters.
路透社，李强总理对澳方提出了关切，也就是澳方的外国投资审查制度。昨天，李总理和阿尔巴尼斯一同出席了中澳工商界的会议，中方最关心的 具体行业是哪一个？
关于
On Prime Minister Albaneses' visit to China and concerning the business activities, China has already announced information. It is believed by China that economic and trade cooperation is the cornerstone for China-Australia relationship. China is willing to provide a fair, open, and non-discriminatory business environment for the companies from two countries and promote the development of economic and trade cooperation. Next question, please.
谢谢发言人。中新社记者提问：上海合作组织成员。
The meeting of the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states was held in Tianjin yesterday. Could you share more information on that? On July 15th, the meeting of the Council of the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states was successfully held in Tianjin. Before the meeting, President Xi Jinping had a group meeting with foreign ministers and heads of permanent bodies of the SCO in Beijing. He stressed that in the face of a turbulent and changing international landscape, the SCO must stay focused, remain confident, act efficiently, and play a more proactive role. It needs to remain true to its founding mission, respond to the people's expectations, and shoulder its missions of the times. It should also serve as the torchbearer of Shanghai spirit, a doer in deepening cooperation, and a steadfast contributor to building a community with a shared future for mankind, and inject greater stability and positive energy into the world. Foreign Minister Wang Yi chaired the meeting and made a 5-point proposal for the future development of the SCO. First, not to forget the founding mission and carry forward the Shanghai spirit. Second, having a shared responsibility for safety and security and laying a solid foundation for that. Third, seeking mutual benefit and win-win results and creating engines for development. Fourth, upholding amity and good neighborliness and building a beautiful homeland. Fifth, staying in the right course and defending fairness and justice. When jointly meeting the press with SCO Secretary General Nurlan Yermakbayev after the meeting, Foreign Minister Wang announced that the SCO summit will be held in Tianjin from August 31st to September the 1st. Participants spoke highly of what China has done and achieved as the rotating chair of the SCO, commended the important role of the SCO, and expressed their readiness to cooperate and coordinate with China to make the SCO Tianjin summit a full success. The full exchange of views on various issues at this meeting made full political preparations for the upcoming Tianjin summit. We believe that with the concerted effort of all parties, the Tianjin summit will surely be a gathering of solidarity, friendship, and fruitful results, and the SCO is bound to enter a new stage of high-quality development, featuring greater solidarity, coordination, dynamism, and productiveness.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
Reuters again.
路透社、南华早报报道称，中国已经取消了对于欧盟某一个政客的制裁。2021年的时候，这一制裁被实行，中方对此有何评论？
请再重复。
Could you please repeat your question?
The South China Morning.
南华早报报道称，中方已经解除了对于彼得克菲尔的制裁，这是欧盟的一个政客，2021年的时候被制裁，中方对此有何评论？
过去几年
In the past few years, the cooperation between China and European legal systems have had some hiccups, but under the current circumstances, both sides believe that China and the European Parliament agreed to fully cancel the restrictions on the mutual communication and exchanges. We believe and expect that with this gesture, the communication and understanding between the two sides can be deepened and can inject healthy and a new engine into China-European relations. Next question, please.
Question from Antara.
安塔拉，印尼和中美方达成了一项贸易协议，印尼对美出口将面临19%的关税，但是美对印尼的出口并不会有关税。这是美方与越南达成协议之后，与东盟国家达成的第2次贸易协议。外交部对此有何评论？
中方
China believes parties need to settle economic and trade disputes through equal-footed dialogue and consultation, and jointly foster a sound environment for international economic and trade cooperation.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
Thank you. Another question from RIA Novosti.
今日俄罗斯，昨天北约秘书长吕特表示，希望中国、印度和巴西就美方威胁加征的对俄贸易刺激关税向俄方施加压力。中方对此有何评论？
我已经就
Yesterday, I have stated China's position yesterday. I would like to reiterate that we always believe that dialogue and negotiation is the only viable way out of the crisis. China firmly opposes any illicit unilateral sanctions and long-arm jurisdiction. Tariff wars have no winners. Coercion and pressuring will lead nowhere. We hope parties will help create the atmosphere and conditions for a political settlement of the Ukraine crisis and act in ways conducive to promoting talks for peace.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
谢谢发言人。中国日报记者提问：第3届中
China Daily. The third China International Supply Chain Expo kicked off today. This is the first time for the expo to be held in summer. Besides, China also hosted the Western China International Fair and the China South Asia Expo this summer, showcasing China's active effort of high standard opening up. Can you give us more details and your comment? This summer witnessed China's booming effort of striving for high standard opening up. The third China International Supply Chain Expo, or CISCE, kicked off in Beijing today with many highlights, more innovation, and greener practices. A total of 651 domestic and foreign enterprises and institutions will participate in the expo, with foreign exhibitors marking 35%, and half of them are from Europe and the US. The expo will showcase latest innovations, and more than 100 innovative items will make their debut at the expo, up by 10% compared with the previous one. There's also an innovation chain exhibition area, enabling laboratories to drive industrial advancement with their brilliant ideas. The expo venue will be completely powered by electricity for the first time, cutting carbon dioxide emissions by over 1,100 tons. The CISCE is a major platform for companies to enhance resource sharing and technology interconnection. It is also a signature event of China's high standard opening up. Latest data show that China's total import and export of goods for the first half of 2025 exceeded 21 trillion yuan, setting a record high for the same period in history. Though unilateralism and protectionism are on the rise, China's booming trade has effectively offset the impact of global industrial and supply chains disruption and decoupling. Looking forward, the trend of deeply integrated global supply chains and interdependence between companies is unstoppable. China stands ready to work with all sides to keep global supply chains stable and unimpeded and build an open world economy to work together with all sides. Next one, please.
This is the Sharq from Sharq News.
关于中东问题，中方是否考虑帮助伊朗降低局势、缓和局势？现在关于伊朗问题的谈判 还没有开始重启，中方是否会考虑提供相关支持 ？Could you please repeat your question？ 现在中东面临很多不确定性，关于伊朗的停火问题有很多不确定性，中方会否会帮助降低局势、降温？现在关于伊朗核问题的谈判还没有能够重启，中方是否会发挥作用？
你提到的关于
The question that you've mentioned about the Middle East situation, we have had talks in the meeting of the SCO Foreign Ministers Council. Right now, the situation in the Middle East is still very sensitive and complicated. China is willing to join the international community to advocate for peace and peaceful negotiation. This is in the interest of the international community.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any other questions?
好，那今天记者会就。
This is all for today's press conference. Thank you for coming.